Boomflowah!
Good evening, this is BelGeode, and we are back with some more DCS World, and tonight I'm getting reacquainted with an old friend. Yes, folks, the AV-8B Harrier. It's been forever since I've shown this bird, and from my understanding, a lot has changed. It's almost like it's a whole new bird for me. I've got to relearn everything and learn new stuff that's been added over the last few months up until very, very recently, when they added laser-guided rockets, APKWS, and I forget what that stands for, Advanced Precision Kill Weapon System or something like that. I hope I'm right. Alright, but tonight's mission is one that I've actually made up quite some time ago. I made it up back in summer of 2020, but I'd never quite gotten it to work right until now. So I'm pleased to finally show you the fruits of my labor when it comes to this. This is part of our whole campaign that we've been doing. This mission takes place just after the Huey mission, which you may or may not have already seen. I've been kind of working on several missions at once, and they might not all go up in the correct order. But I don't want to get too long-winded, because I already am. The name of this mission is Kracking Kish, and let's read our situation and our objective, and then we'll get started. So the time has come to turn our attention to the island of Kish, where recent attempts to sink our fleet originated. This time, we're sending the Marines to knock out their anti-shipping force once and for all. Pontiac 7, which is our flight. We will depart from the Tarawa and rendezvous with Hayder Tanker just east of Oman. Once refueled, continue west to Abu Musa to rendezvous with Uzi 3. While Uzi 3 provides top cover, make your way down to the deck past the SAM systems and pop up to bomb every Su-24, Su-24 fencer at Kish. Try to avoid too much collateral damage, as this is a populated island and we do not want to incur civilian casualties. Be advised, recon flights have uncovered light surface air defenses at the airbase. Egress to Siri Island before making your way back to Abu Musa for refueling, I should have put in brackets, if needed, and eventually the Tarawa. Now, Uzi 3 are a bunch of UAE Vipers. Uzi will provide cap from Ras Al Khaimah, or Al Khaimah, is that how you pronounce it? Al Khaimah? We're going to go with that. They will rendezvous with you near Abu Musa and keep an eye out for any fighters for Kish or the other air bases. They will remain on station till your mission is complete. A second Uzi flight will remain on standby and begin their cap once your mission is reported accomplished and you are RTB. Be wary of fighters from the mainland on your way home. Texaco 1 is Hayder Tanker. You know what he does. He's on frequency 243, which happens to be our frequency, and his TACAN is 30 Yankee. Tarawa is on frequency 131.5 and 1 X-ray on TACAN. So there we have it. So not only am I going to be showing you a bunch of new stuff involving the DDI and waypoints, but I'm also going to be showing you how I use the laser-guided rockets. So without further ado, let's hop in the cockpit and get cracking. Okay, so let's go ahead and get everything set up here. All right, first thing I want to do is I want to tell my flight, check in.
Flight.
They won't respond, of course, but the reason why I'm doing that is because the tanker is also on the same frequency, so I'll be able to hear when the tanker is taking off, or actually it may have already taken off. Okay, but no time to lose, so let's get everything set up here. So we got our instrument lights on, got our console lights on, and we'll also get the lights for the engine panel on. There we go. Set our ECM to standby. We don't actually have an ECM pod, so it's probably not even needed. We'll set that to AUT, and that should be good there. RWR should already be set. Okay, we'll deal with the DDI in a second. Let's go over this side because we're going to need to set up our nozzle stops. So they changed the way the nozzle stop works. It used to be something where you just hold it down and drag it, but now you can left click it and it'll set to where you want. So 60 is what we're looking for. We'll make sure that our nozzles are currently 10, which according to the HUD it is. We could also check the engine controls here and it will also say 10, so we're good to go there. All right, I think that is everything I need on that side. So let's cast our attention to the DDI. Now, one of the things that I'm going to be doing differently in this video is I'm actually going to be using the waypoints, and I hope they haven't changed it too much since the time that I actually created this mission. But if I recall correctly, this is how you do it. You got to click on data, and then you want to click on this, which is end sequence. And then we're going to click on ingress, and we're going to put the first 4 waypoints that lead up to our targets. So I'm going to do it manually here. We're going to do 0, 1, enter, 0, 2, enter, 0, 3, enter, and finally 0, 4, enter. Okay, so now we click on egress, and this is our path home, which is the next 4 waypoints. So we'll start with 0, 5, enter, 0, 6, enter, 0, 7, enter, and 0, 8, enter. Now, to be sure, you really don't have to go through all of this stuff if you just want to get in there, fly, and you know where your target is, but we're doing it because I like to do all the extra stuff. So we get out of data, and pretty much that's already set up. So we'll work on setting up our low alt. It's currently set to 500. We want it at 2 because we're going to need to dodge some missiles here. So that is entered, and we'll also set up our TACAN for Hater Tanker. So we'll turn that on. And Hater Tanker is currently on frequency 30 Yankee. So it's currently set to X-ray. We'll change it to Yankee and we'll set it to AA. And as you can see, Hater Tanker is already airborne. He's like 82 miles out. So I don't mind wasting a little time doing all of this setup because it will get Hater Tanker in the proper position when he needs to be. But now that we have our waypoints in, we can click this to waypoint and click route, and you'll notice a little pink line appears. That's all that stuff that I entered in with the waypoints, 0, 1, 0, 2, and all of that. So we're pretty much good to go. And looking around at everything else, I would say we're just about good for takeoff. So what we'll need to do is put our water up to takeoff position. Flaps are already in the full down position. And because of the fact that the parking brake is now a thing, we will need to disengage the parking brake before we go brakes down, throttles up. Bring it up to about 85%. We're good. Brakes off. And let's kick in the nozzles. So we're at 60. Perfect. Gear up. And let's get our autopilot on. Flaps up. And we'll start lowering the nozzles while we're at it here. Make sure we're not dipping into our water. I'm going to need that to hover later. Nope, we still have 500 pounds. All right, so we're good. Good deal, too. Thank you.
Caution.
All right, the caution's because the water's still on, so we'll turn that off. Nozzles are at 0. Flaps are up. 2's rejoining. And we need to switch this to nav. All right, so now we can see our waypoint. That's that circle on the horizon there. So we're going to need to swing a little to the right, and I'm just going to use the rudder for that. Make sure it's nice and centered. There we go. Okay, our angels for today is angels 10. That is 10,000 feet. So let's go ahead and kick the nose up just a touch. I'm also going to slow down a bit so my guys can catch up with me. All right, so nose up. We want about 7 degrees. Nose up attitude, so right about there is good. Since the autopilot is on, it should hold us relatively close. Of course, if we lose too much airspeed, that's going to cause problems. And let me hit the rudder again just to line us back up with the waypoint. So everything that you're seeing on HUD at the bottom, that's all the ships that we just left. And at the very top of the HUD, you'll notice it says AE. That's our Ticonderoga class cruiser or Aegis cruiser that's currently waiting at waypoint 1. I set it there pretty much as a marker for me, so I know where waypoint 1 is, and I also know where the tanker is going to turn around, because Hater Tanker is going to turn around at that tanker and then at that cruiser, and he's going to head back towards UAE and Oman. So basically, his track is from the cruiser to Siri Island and back. So we have that much distance with which to make sure that we're getting full tanks. Speaking of which, let's check on that for a second here. Okay, we are at 4,200. All right. You know what? I think I'm going to turn this ECM off because I don't think I need it for this mission. Okay, so we're at Angel 6.5. Let's see if our boys are in position yet. Hey, here comes Arnold. All right, good deal. And the other guys, Wild Bill and Lift Ticket, yep, looks like they're coming in as well. All right, so everybody's where we need to be. And we are getting close to our target altitude, so I'm going to dip the nose down. We'll go to about a 3-degree nose-up attitude here. And the reason why I'm doing that, once I get to about 10,000, I will engage the altitude hold. And I've noticed that if you have it any higher than 3 degrees nose up, it won't catch. So we'll end up still climbing, which is not what I want. Do need to line us up again. So I'm going to overdo it here. All right, so there we go. We should be properly lined up. Let's check where the tanker is. Tanker is 46 miles away. Waypoint is 24 miles away, so half that distance. So we are going a little bit fast here, so I'm going to slow us down somewhat. We'll try to keep it roughly around 300-ish. And we're going to level out just shy of 10,000 because we know that Hater Tanker is at 10,000. And of course, if you're in a Harrier, you better get used to air-to-air refueling because that's pretty much your first stop after you take off. Unless you like taking off over max takeoff weight, which nobody does. All right, 9,800. Let's go right here. So we'll kick on our autopilot hold, and it's not kicking. Why? Because I'm not at 3 degrees nose up. All right, so we overshot our altitude. Not a problem. We can bring the nose down, and we'll make sure it's close to 0 this time. We do need to slow down some more. So let's drop our RPM to about 690. You know what? 690 is fine. Yeah, we'll hold it right there. Of course, we are gaining a little airspeed because of the fact that I'm now nose down, but I'm trying to get us to about 9970-ish. You know what? Right about there should be good. Okay, so our autopilot is on, our altitude hold is on, and it looks like we are doing pretty good. We can start to see our waypoint. That's the circle with the dot in the center. And we should start seeing Hater Tanker. He's represented by that triangle on the outside of the circle. Okay, so since everything looks to be kosher, let's go to the outside view for a moment. Okay, and we are back, and it looks like we are about 7 miles away from waypoint 1. Okay, so Texaco has reached his location. You can now see Texaco's icon. It's the funky looking 3-legged icon. That's really the only way I can describe it. So he's going to be making a turn, a left-hand turn. Let's see if we have visual on him. Yep, he's right behind my flight path marker, and he's heading off to the right. So as soon as we get to our waypoint, we are going to join up with him. We'll need to chase him down a little bit here, and hopefully I'll be able to get this right. Hater Tanker and I have like a love-hate relationship when it comes to air-to-air refueling. All right, one thing I will do though is I am going to put the HUD on this side, because you may notice the sun is directly ahead, and as it falls, it may get in our eyes. All right, so there's Hater Tanker there. And are we at our waypoint yet? Yeah, about 1.6 miles away. There it is. There's our cruiser. Looking good, looking good. So now we can start chasing around Hater Tanker. And I'm actually going to set us up for waypoint 2. Okay, there we go. So waypoint 2 is where both ourselves and Hater Tanker are going. But first, we need to catch him. And there he is over there. Now, typically, whenever I do this, I will wait until I'm like behind the tanker before I actually call to him and say, hey, we'd like to get some gas. The reason why I do that is because his bank angle gets a lot shallower if you tell him that you want gas. And right now, he's in the middle of a big U-turn. So I'd rather he get into position first before we start begging for gas here. All right, we are at 99.30. I believe we're going to need to be about 99.80 to have the probe in the right spot for the basket. But let's see if we can catch him first. So I'm going to increase our speed. We'll do a quick gas check. 3,700 in fuel. Okay, we got plenty for this operation. Of course, we will need full tanks in order to make it all the way to Kish and then back. So yeah, I kind of don't have a choice here. I must refuel and make sure that we get it up all the way. That sounded funny to say, but whatevs. All right, so it looks like waypoint is coming into view now, so Hater Tanker should be lining up. Now would probably be a good time to call him. He is on the same frequency as we are, so we'll go.
Mexico 1-1, Pontiac 7-1, request rejoin.
There we go.
Pontiac 7-1, Mexico 1-1, proceed to pre-contact at 10,000 at 280.
Okay, sounds good to me. We can see he's definitely getting a little bit closer. According to the TACAN, he is 1.2 miles directly ahead of us. So we're going to line ourselves up on the left side of him, or at least attempt to. And my procedure for refueling is as follows. I'll get myself into position. I'll tell him, ready for contact, and he'll go clear contact, provided I'm close enough. The moment he does that, the next thing that I do is I actually send 2 to refuel, because I want 2 to get his refueling done before I start messing around, trying to line up and get gas. So that's pretty much how I've been doing it. And then, of course, since we have a 3 and a 4 with us today, after both 2 and I get filled up, we will send 3 and 4 to do the same thing. Now, the only problem that I could potentially run into here is if it takes me too long to refuel, it should only take me until we reach the end of the UAE. If it takes too long for me to get gas, then that's going to obviously slow down 3 and 4. 2, of course, will have no problem because he'll already have gas. So I need to be somewhat quick about this, and I need to get it right the first time. I do know his speed is roughly around 284, so we'll keep that in mind as we are trying to line up here. We definitely don't want to go much higher than this, otherwise we will run into his wake, and that's also bad. I have noticed that the wind coming off the props does tend to change your flight as well, so there is that to consider. So what I've been doing is I've been making sure that my autopilot is on and having that do most of the work as far as getting me lined up. So we'll see how well it works today. It seems to be hit or miss. I can't consistently get this thing going the way I would like. One thing I will do though, I'll take the autopilot hold off and we're gonna bump ourselves up just a touch here because it says 9930 is our current altitude. Want it to be a little more than that. 9950. Bump the nose up a touch. All right. Right about there should be good. 9960. Okay. We're going way too fast.
Ready, pre-contact.
Return pre-contact.
Oh, don't even tell me that. You know I'm in the right spot.
Ready, pre-contact.
Cleared contact.
All right. That's more like it. Okay, so we'll keep our speed around 280-ish, and we'll stay roughly here. And real quick, I need to go parent menu, wingman 2, go to fly the tanker.
Get the tanker.
I really should reinstall voice attack for that. Makes life a ton easier. We do need our fuel probe out. There we go. All right, now the way this works in VR, you have to make sure that the basket is at eye level, and you need to make sure that you are lined up just to the left of that leftmost engine. And basically, we're just going to creep ahead here. I think the basket's actually a little too high. I don't know why we just lost a bit of altitude there, but I'm hoping won't need to make any adjustments.
Breakaway, breakaway, breakaway.
It's usually a good sign when he says that because it means that you're close to the basket. But we are a little low, as you can see. Yeah, we're definitely low. Definitely low. All right, so we need to bump it up just a touch. So I'll pull back here. You can see Arnold's in the process of getting his refueling done. So while he's working on that, let me see if I can get myself back in a position. I'm trying not to hit the stick on this one. I'm basically just using rudder to line myself up. But I will need to turn off the altitude hold for just a second and then turn it back on. All right, it should be back on now. Yeah, see, it says we're at 9970, 9980. We're actually above where the probe is. So hopefully, because I know that the wind coming off of those props will push us down as we get closer to this thing, hopefully that should help compensate for it. Usually I have myself refueled by now, but obviously I'm having an off day here. All right, yeah, we're definitely too high. It's got to be at eye level. Altitude hold off. Tip the nose down, altitude hold on. And we're drifting to the right. Okay, I think that's where we need to be though, so right about here.
Breakaway.
There's the breakaway. All right, thank you, too. Okay, we got it, and we just need to hold it.
You're taking fuel.
All right. So we'll stay under the leftmost engine. We'll keep our speed around 284. And we'll try to hold this position for about 2 minutes. I do feel like I'm a little low, so I'm going to tip the nose up just a touch here. And put the alt hold back on. All right, 283 is going to need to be our speed here. And we're basically waiting for those lights, the two end lights, to go green. And I'm losing the basket. See, the middle light is back on.
You're taking fuel.
Yeah, I got a little too far forward, so we need to make sure that we're under the wing or under the tailplane here. And I'm getting low again. Seriously? Seriously. All right, so we just lost the basket. Okay, alt hold off. Barely touch the nose. Alt hold on.
Breakaway, breakaway, breakaway.
Contact. Okay.
You're taking fuel.
And we need to slow down. So all I need to do is keep us here for just another minute. We're at 6,100. We need to be at 7,700 in gas. So basically, I'm just watching that engine like a hawk and trying to keep it in that position. That's really the only secret to doing this, is flying formation with the tanker itself. That's it. That's the only real advice that I can give you on this one here. How are we doing? 74. We're almost done. Almost done. There it is. Both lights are on.
Complete. Disconnect.
Now, since we're already on autopilot, all I need to do is just kind of swing us out to the right. And while that's going on, we'll go ahead and get 3 in position. So 3, it is now your turn. Go to tanker.
Hit the tanker.
3, affirm.
And we'll stay just to the right of everyone else. And look at that. There's the coastline. So we just made it. We just made it. Let's go ahead and pull the probe in. And we'll turn our lights off. And now we can also send 4 to the tanker.
4. Hit the tanker.
4, affirm.
All right, so now that that is done, believe it or not, folks, that was the hard part. Holy crap. I hate doing that. I really do. But it's an absolute necessary skill when you're in the Harrier. You don't have a choice because of the fact that the Harrier doesn't carry a whole heck of a lot. And you basically have a choice. You could either carry a bunch of fuel tanks or you can carry a bunch of munitions, but not both. But yeah, it looks like we made it, so I'm not going to complain too much. I'm going to drop my speed a little bit so that way we can match Hater Tanker. And you know what? Let's do it cinematic here. Let's go to the outside view and we'll check out the boys getting gas here. All right, so it looks like 3 is done with his refueling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull us up to a higher altitude so that way we don't coincide with Hater Tanker. Thank you for the gas there, Hater Tanker. Really appreciate it. And we're going to bring ourselves up to about 11,000 or Angels 11. You can see Siri Island up ahead. Just beyond Siri Island is going to be our fence-in location, and then we'll get started on getting these laser rockets up to snuff here. I think Hater Tanker should be right below me, so got to be careful here. Okay, we do have an F-16 airborne. A little word about the F-16s. They are UAE. They are not United States Air Force F-16s. And I'm actually going to be showing you a video sometime soon with me flying the F-16 because I know it's one of the few aircraft that I really have not yet shown in DCS. There's actually a bunch that I haven't shown, but that one in particular is one that I would like to show, but I haven't gotten around to doing it yet. But our guys in the UAE F-16s are top cover, so they're going to be flying cap. And we do have word that there are active MiG-29s on Kish, so we do expect them to come up after us, and we also expect the F-16s to take them the heck out. Now, I don't think I need my HUD here, so I'm going to switch it to the EW page. All right. You'll notice the HA up ahead. That is a Hawk missile system. You'll recall in the Huey video, hopefully I remember to put it up by now. In the Huey video, we took Siri Island. Voodoo Squad went in there and did their thing. The Marines went in afterwards and set up a bunch of Hawk missile systems to act as a first line of defense against the encroaching enemy from the north. And there's our 16s again. All right, cool beans. Okay, so pretty much everything is set up here. We have about 16 miles to go until we get to Siri Island. So once we get there, we'll be making a right turn. And we should get the fence-in notification. We start setting up the targeting pod underneath the Harrier as well as the rockets themselves. I do have the laser codes preset. You can do that in the mission editor. And I would actually recommend that you do that in the mission editor, because the only other way that you can adjust that is to make sure that your Harrier is completely off with the canopy open so that you can change the laser codes using the kneeboard. That seems a little bit more cumbersome. Better to just set your mission ahead of time with the laser code that you want. So that way, the only thing that you may need to change is the laser code in the T-pod, which in this case we don't, because everything defaults in the T-pod to 1111. Missiles and rockets, bombs and whatnot default to 1688. So what I did was I changed that in Mission Editor to 1111. All right, but enough yakking. Looks like we're coming close to our waypoint. So once again, we'll go back to the outside view for that lovely cinematic shot, and then we'll come back in and make our turn. All right, so there is Siri Island. Looks like it is no worse for wear after our last excursion there. Yeah, looks pretty decent. Okay, so now we need to make our right-hand turn, so I'm going to set us up for waypoint 3. And we're going to begin our turn over the island here. We're still on autopilot for the time being. One thing I am going to do, however, I'm going to send my flight into a different formation. We're currently in finger 4, and I think I would like to have us spread
Flight.
4.
Go spread 4.
While I'm at it, I'm going to tell them to close up the formation a bit.
Flight. Close formation.
All right, there is our waypoint. Now we're going to need to hit the deck, so I'm actually going to start bringing us down here a little. I'm waiting to see if those MiG-29s are going to launch. I want to say they will. But there is an SA-6 that just appeared. Okay, so that's on the mainland, I believe. That's over by one of the airports on the mainland. So that's all the more reason.
Passing waypoint 3 at 10,000.
All right, good job, Texaco. So we're fencing in now. That's all the more reason why we need to hit the deck, because those SA-6s can get a little bit troublesome. So I'm going to drop our power here. And I'm actually going to tip us down a little bit more than that, because I really want us to get to the deck quickly. Okay, but we did get the order to fence in, so this is what we're going to do now, as soon as I line myself up here. 2, is that you? That is you. Okay, good. There's 3 and 4. All right, so everybody's in spread formation, which is perfect. All right, so first things first. We're going to go to the stores page. So we'll set this to that. And we're going to go master arm on, set everything to AG, and we'll select our rockets. quantity, I'm going to launch 2 rockets at once. So 2 and enter. And you'll notice that all of the rocket pods are now selected. We only have 7 rockets per pod. So that means a grand total of about 28 rockets that I've got to do this with. Now on the right side, Uzi 3, you're already airborne. I just saw one of your F-16s. What's going on with that? All right, now on the right side, we're going to get our T-pod. So let's set that up. And we're going to put that into operational mode.
Passing waypoint 2 at 17,000.
That was quick. I thought you just took off. Huh. All right, we're going to arm this. And we're going to change that to laser. I got to remember to hit this button here that says fire before I actually start using it. Let's see, we're at Angels 4. We're going to need to come down lower. You'll notice in the very center of the HUD a little stop sign looking icon with a dot in the center. That is where the laser is going to be pointing. So we'll move that around in a second here, but first I want to make sure that we get really low to the ground here. Or I guess in this case, the water. All right, so we're at 2,500. I want to set us up closer to 2,000, or maybe a little below it. All right, we'll see how well that works. 3 and 4 are in position. 2's in position. We are at 1960, so that's fine. We'll go ahead and put the altitude hold back on. The wind is causing my HUD to actually drift a little to the right, so it's going to look weird anyway to you when you see it. Hopefully it should look centered, but remember I'm also in VR, so one eye tends to be cutting off the left side of the HUD, the other eye tends to be cutting off the right because they're intended to be viewed together, where you see everything centered. But just know that is the reason why my rocket reticle is a little bit off to one side of the actual flight path marker. I'm going to increase our speed here. All right, so we're going to bring it up to about 300-ish. We're deliberately coming in slow because I want to give the F-16s enough time to get into position here, because I'm pretty certain that we're going to have some MiG-29 action shortly, because that Kish airbase does tend to have a lot of Su-24s and MiG-29s. We've seen the Su-24s in action before. The Tomcats took those out several videos ago. But there's still the others, and that's our job. We've got to take them out before they decide to launch another attack on our carrier. All right, a couple more things that I need to do as far as getting this thing set up. I need to hit, I think this is the button here. All right, there we go, there we go. Okay, so you'll notice the stop sign is moving. That means we are moving our T-pod. It's currently set to CCD, which is kind of like TV mode. I'm going to set it to flare and increase the gain. And we're going to slew it a little bit to the left. I'm going to try and see if I can find that island there. There it is. Okay. So that's the abandoned island, which is that one right there. But just behind it, you will notice an island with a bunch of skyscrapers on it. That is Kish. So we can zoom in. And we're just going to keep it centered on the skyscrapers. I will need to find the airport. Oh, there's a spike. And look at that. MiG-29. Okay, well, we knew that was coming. 16s, that's your job. I should not have to launch a single Sidewinder off of this bird to do that. That's your job. You're supposed to take them out. All right, so everything's pretty much set to go as far as the missiles.
Passing waypoint 3 at 12,000.
So we will put this back on HSD. We'll keep it there for a while. And then, of course, we'll keep the targeting pod there because we're going to need that for the laser.
Engaging bandit at balls 261 Fort 100 at 11.
That's what I like to hear. You'll also notice a 6 On the HUD at the top, that 6 is the SA6 site that's currently on Kish. That's my other guys' job. 3, 4, their job is to take that out. And 2 can also help out with that. I think I gave them enough ordnance for that. So yeah, there's a lot riding on this mission here. My boys need to take out the missiles. I need to play some Wild Weasel while they're tracking the radar. And of course, those MiG-29s are now tracking us, so the 16s are somewhere up there, and they're going to need to do their job. I hope. We'll see how well this works out. I've tested this mission a number of times, and yeah, it's always interesting. Let's just put it that way. Now, as we approach the island, which is off in that direction, I will remind you, I will need to quickly adjust. But one of the things that I like about this targeting pod is once you set the laser to fire and you fire a rocket, you can quickly adjust to your next target. I think that is really cool. So hopefully I'll be able to show that off effectively. And one of these MiGs just locked me up. Well, that's no bueno. All right, I've got my hand over the dispense button here. They are directly ahead of us. Can I see them? No, not really. Let's try the outside view here. All right, they are passing by and they're heading to the right. We are closing in on our waypoint. Oh boy, this could get tricky. I'm going to set up waypoint 4 here, which should be the island itself. And once we reach the bend and the pink line, that's when we'll make our turn. And I'm going to send my boys to take out that SA6. So try to keep it together, guys. Do not launch any sidewinders unless fired upon. All right, right about here is good. We'll make our turn. Nice sharp turn. Okay, something's tracking us. That's the SA6 on the mainland. Guys, you're too far out. Pull it together. Okay, we broke the lock. But we're now being tracked by the SA6 on Kish. Oh, nice. Very good, very good. Okay, boys. Do your thing, boys.
Flight.
All right, everybody's doing their thing. I'm going to put the HUD on here because the sun is in my eye and I kind of want to see what's going on. Let's see if we can find this airport. There it is. There it is. Okay. Where are the Su-24s? I think this is them. That's as much zoom as I can get out of this thing. But yes, I think that's them. All right, so we'll click on fire. We're not firing the laser just yet. We need to play dodge the missile. Oh boy. Okay, I'm definitely being locked. Autopilot off. Time to hit the deck and do some of that fancy flying. Yeah, I know you're engaged defensive. Just shoot your missile. Oh man, they definitely have a solid lock on me. Let's keep dumping flares here. I don't know if those missiles are coming after me or going after my guys. Either way, we're going to bring it down to the deck and continue doing that wild weasel business. Yeah, I definitely see missile trails now. Whoo! Look at that! Oh, I hope that hits, buddy. Really hope that hits. Okay, my guys are moving in. Come on, just take out the radar. That's all I ask of you. They hit something. All right, good deal, good deal. Two, where are you at? Where in the hell is two? Okay, well, I'm just going to assume that's two. In the meantime, I seem to have found our fencers. All right, let me line myself up here. All right, I got to make this quick. Okay, well, it looks like they got the missile. So let's see if we can launch some of these rockets. Pickle, or I guess rocket away. Come on, blow up, blow up. I don't want to get too close to this airport because there are man pads there as well. Did it not track? Oh boy, let's try again. All right, well, we got one. That works for me. That works for me. Let's get the heck out of here. But that's the beautiful thing about this is I can still use the T-pod to set up my next shot. So right there is good. And we are egressing. Let's dump some flares while we're at it. Oh, nice. Nice. I love it when a plan comes together. All right, we're going to head off this way, and we're going to come back in. We'll keep an eye on gas as well. We're at 5,900 right now, which should be good. I'm going to gain a little bit more altitude before I come in for my next run. All right, where's the airport? Okay, look at that. There's a nice smoking fencer right there as a marker. Perfect. Couldn't ask for a better marker. I don't know how many more of those surface-to-air defenses are left. It looks like my boys took out a whole bunch. But I am notorious for adding far more SAMs than I really need. So that could come back to bite me here. Oh, nice, nice. Okay, well, the boys are getting the job done. All right, so we're going to turn around and do our second run here. Target number 2 is hit. Okay, good deal. They're starting from the opposite side. And I'm currently masked. But we're going to line ourselves up real quick here and launch another salvo of rockets. Okay, let's set up shop right about there. And we're running in. Okay. Everything looks good to me. Rockets away. All right, give me a hit. Give me a hit. That's all I ask is a hit. Let's do another one. Ah, good deal. That wasn't mine, but good deal. And let's launch another one. Woo! Got something there. All right, well, we're almost done with this. We're going to egress here. Get some flares out. I love the way the flares launch, the pattern that they launch in. In fact, let's check that out from the outside while I'm turning around here.
Target hit. Target destroyed.
Target 4 is down. All right, let's see. How many more do we have left is the real question.
Target hit.
Woo! Nice. I don't know if that's all of them, though. I think there's still one more left. So as soon as I unmask here, we'll try and see if we can find that last one. I'm feeling a little bit more confident, so I'm going to go at a little higher altitude here. We're at 6,000, 7,000. Of course, we are going to need to come in because we're still masked right now. All right, right about there should do the trick. And let's see, any more of you fencers? Feel like the Dave Chappelle meme. Y'all got any more of them there fencers? All right, this one looks like it is primed and ready to be blown up. So, shall we oblige? No, don't run in for. I got this. I got this. Rockets away. And let's do it again. Rockets away. One more for good measure.
Target hit. 1 o'clock.
Target 8 is down. I do believe that's all of them. Yeah, they're all burning. Not quite sure what he's hitting there. He's probably going after the parked MiGs. All right, there we go. All target fencers are destroyed. That's what I needed. So everybody, rejoin formation. Like now.
Flight, join up.
All of you. Okay, good deal, good deal. All right, so that was the fun part of the mission. Now we need to get back to the boat, and hopefully we'll have enough gas for that. So let's see, waypoint 4, we want waypoint 5 now, which should be directly ahead, I think. No, it's actually more this way. All right, so let's turn around here. I'm going to set my HUD to nav mode so that way I can see our waypoint. Still can't quite see the waypoint, but that's all right. You can barely see it on the map, too. It's that light blue line. That's what we're looking for here. But it should be at a heading of 131. We just want to line up with the line first. Let me do one final BDA. Yep, it certainly does look like we took care of every single fencer that could possibly threaten our fleet, whether it be the Nimitz carrier or the Tarawa. So I'm feeling good about myself right about now. We're going to head this way as everybody joins up, and I will lower my speed so that way I'm not, like, causing a ruckus here. Okay, so we can probably turn this off, too. So I'll turn off fire. I don't recall how to get this thing back to center position, so I might just turn the whole thing off. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll just turn the whole thing off. All right, we are closing in on our line here.
Fence out.
And hey, just in time. There's our fence out. So we'll go ahead and click that. We're already on nav, so we're good to go there. We'll set this back up to EW. And now we can make our right-hand turn. We're at Angels 11 right now. I'm going to take it all the way up to about Angels 18 or maybe even Angels 20. The reason why I'm doing that is basically for fuel efficiency at this point. All right, so our waypoint should take us back to Siri Island. You can see it dead ahead. Or actually, I think I may be mistaken. I think the first island that we saw when we were heading in was actually Abu Musa, and this would be Siri Island. We'll find out once we get closer to it. But either way, I would say we did a dang good job here. We took out all the targets that we were tasked to take out, and all we need to do now is just head back to the boat. All right, so we just took a quick look around the AO there, and we can see that the Vipers are currently headed out to their tanker since they've done their job for the day. So we are closing in on Angels 18, which is pretty much where I want to be as far as my cruise altitude for this hop back. And as you can see, our fuel is right back down to where we started. So we're at 4,700 pounds in gas. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. We should definitely have enough to get us back to the boat. But again, that's exactly why I'm going up to altitude to help us out with that. If anything, we can always glide down to the boat once we get to the other side. All right, there is 18. So we'll go altitude hold on. And that is Siri Island. So yes, my apologies. I was incorrect earlier. What I was actually seeing was Abu Musa, and this is Siri Island. So once again, we'll take a quick look outside. Okay, 5 miles to Siri Island, and if you look really close, you can see the very light blue line is telling us we need to make a left and go back to Abu Musa Island, which is, of course, where we had ingressed. So we will do that momentarily, and we'll stay up here at altitude. Now, I'm pretty certain that there's probably going to be a QRF that will be launching, another flight of MiG-29s, because obviously they're going to want to investigate what happened over at Kish, and we don't want any part of that.
We are
All right.
entering the vol and are checking out. Stay safe down there.
Okay, well, thank you, Uzi. We really appreciate the help here. And I think we just passed Siri Island. There it is. So yeah, that's where the Hueys were, and that's where Voodoo Squad was, and they did an incredible job taking that for our side. And we'll set up the next waypoint here. So we want waypoint 6. Okay. Now this is the waypoint that will take us to Abu Musa, and then the next waypoint after that should take us directly to the boat. All right, so there we go. There's Abu Musa, and waypoint is coming up. There it is. Continue lining up here. Perfect. Perfect. All right, cool beans. So it is going to be a long hop once we get past Abu Musa here. And since we do not intend to refuel, hopefully we should have enough gas to make it. It's going to be pretty boring. So, of course, what I will do is I will cut the video until we get to the point where we are past the mainland and headed back towards the boat. And we'll start coming down. Throttle all the way to idle. And I do want this to be a pretty sprightly descent, so we're going to go 7 degrees nose down. There we go. And we can almost see the cruiser down there. Pretty cool. All right, but we do know now that the Tarawa is showing at the very top of the DDI as an inverted triangle. Okay, good deal, good deal. And since we are less than 50 miles away, I think what I will do is I will actually contact our Tarawa, tell them we're inbound.
Marshall 017.
What is this? Case 2, case 3.
Angels 14.5.
Nah.
016. 018. Low state 3.2.
Yeah, I didn't sign up for that. I didn't sign up for case 2.
015. Marshall on the 108. 22. DME Angels 7.
What?
Expected approach time is 31.
Nah, that's too much for me. That is not what I signed up for here today, folks. All right, but we are passing the last waypoint that we need before we get to the boat. And where did my boys go? I think they are getting into their recovery formation, so I actually don't need to tell them to get to the boat. I just need to get to the boat myself. I forgot what she said as far as the BRC that we're looking for. So I'm just going to get into visual range here and see if I can eyeball it, and then we'll try to bring it in. All right, gas is currently at 3,200. Okay, but do we know our weight? That's the real question. I think this just gives me the engine information. I'll be honest with you folks, I kind of forgot how to check my weight and everything else. Hover 1. Yeah, this doesn't really tell me a whole hell of a lot. There's fuel, there's engine. Oh, these are all the emergency procedures. I don't want that. RAZBAM, you changed stuff too much. Holy crap, man. This is one module where keeping up with everything that they've changed is a pain in the butt. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining too loudly because I really love the Harrier and I love the fact that they're adding so much to it. But holy crap, man. Sometimes I gotta just sit down with this thing and a manual and just read through it all over again because everything that I've known about it has changed. All right, but enough complaining. Let's go to the outside view and see if we can locate the boat, which, by the way, is right there. Okay, so we are close to home. I really have no idea how heavy we are, but I do know that once we get below 3,000 pounds, we should be somewhat good. What I could do, however, is I can go station. Let's go 2. Can we set up 2, 3, 4, 5, all of that? Oh, I guess I should probably have the master arm on. 2, 3, 6, and 5, and jettison. Did that get rid of them? I think it did. That's all the residual rockets, so that should help with weight. Let's go outside and check really quick. Okay, that works for me. And there is the boat. It is not quite nighttime just yet, so you know what? I'm going to pretend like this is a case 1, even though they specifically told me to come in on a case 3. Only because that's the only thing I know. All right, so in order to do that, let's slow down first of all here. And we'll make sure that our autopilot is on for right now. Make sure our nozzle stop is off. It is not. It's still set to on, so Yeah, because we're going to need to go vertical on this one here. We'll go behind the boat and then we'll pull up. So we're basically going to make a U-turn here and bring it in. I'll also get the lights on. Okay, lights should be on now. And what about our landing lights? Yeah, we need the hover lights on. All right, there we go. Okay, so I think we are just about ready. So let's go ahead and get our gear down. Get our flaps up. We'll set this back to hover mode. We'll turn our autopilot system off. And we'll start getting those nozzles moving here. We will need to trim to bring that witch's hat up. And we'll keep on keeping on. All right, we definitely don't want to be dropping that much. So let me change our fuel flow, or our engine throttle, I guess. And we'll keep swinging her around. I'm not even going to worry about like contacting the boat or anything like that because honestly, yeah, that's just too much work right about now. I just want to land. That's all I want to do. Let's keep it simple here. Make sure our water is set to landing because we might need that extra boost. And we'll start bringing everything home. All right, I do need to trim up a little. Witch's hat's looking a little off. There we go, right there should be it. We can adjust accordingly. Let me make sure that my boys are not in the neighborhood. Actually, I have no idea where they went. I thought they were with me and just like got into formation, but I have no clue what they're doing, and honestly, I'm not concerned. We do need to watch our rate of descent, however. 500 feet per minute, good. 2,000, not so good. All right, let's make sure everything's good to go. Gears down. And we do have flaps down. Yep, everything looks good. All right, let's push the nozzles to 40. And of course, I do need to trim us again. All right, nozzles are at 40. We're going to use the rudder to turn us around here. And look at that, folks. Beautiful sunset. Doesn't that make the whole video worthwhile? That should be our title shot right there, but I really don't feel like pausing everything and going to the outside view just to take a picture. All right, we're still descending fairly rapidly, but that's okay. 1,400. All right, I'm going to start pulling us into a gentle hover. Oh, very nice, very nice. I like giving myself little notes like that. By the way, you successfully passed the mission this time. All right, so we need to be set to about 80, 81, between 81 and 84 for a hover. It all depends, of course, on how fast the ship is going. But we're going to try and bring ourselves down, and I'll be playing with the nozzles here. Try and get us where we should be. 800 feet per minute, 700 feet per minute. Push the nozzle down a little bit. Let's take a quick look outside just to make sure that we look somewhat decent and we're in dirty configuration with the gear down. That looks good enough for government work to me. All right, so we need to slide to the right. I'm a little bit floaty here, but that's because I'm playing around with the throttle just to try and keep up with the boat. Another quick look around, make sure my boys are nowhere around. It doesn't look like they are. I'm okay with this. And let's keep coming in. Alright, let's try not to lose it on final here. We'll set for about 82 nozzle. And how nice of them to light up the deck for me. That was very considerate. Alright, let's bring her in. 250 off the deck. And I am going to need to make sure that we stay right about there. I'm aiming for amidships. Hopefully that should be where we set down. I'm kind of gaining in altitude though. I'm deliberately doing this slow and easy here. I don't want to rush things because I know what happens when I try to rush things, you know, for the sake of a video. Aside from which, I can always edit all this stuff out. But you know me, and if you've been a long-time follower of this channel, you know my videos are always long. It's kind of how I like to do things here. Alright, set the nozzles to 78 so we can push forward a little bit more. And we'll start coming down. Okay, I'm feeling good about this. Set it back to 82. Alright, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. I'm going to nose down just a slight bit. Looks like we're keeping speed. We'll start bringing her in. All right, minus 250. That's not quite where I want it. There we go. All right, now we're going a little faster than I would like. Oh boy, don't lose it, don't lose it, don't lose it. Nose forward. Uh-oh. Whew. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. That was sketchy. That was really sketchy. But you know what? We're down. I'm okay with that. I'll take it. I'll take my lumps in the briefing room. All right, let's get the heck out of the way here. I gotta remember that I need brakes now. And I also need that nose wheel steering though.
Caution, caution.
All right, that's fine. You can caution all you want. I just need to get into a nice parking spot. Hi, boys. You totally did not see that landing, right? And right about here should do the trick. Okay, we're going way too fast. Stop, 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 stop. And as a matter of fact, let's put everything backwards. Yeah, I want to be on the line here. All right, right about there is good. Okay, that works for me.
Caution, caution.
Let's get our brakes back on. Did I not get the brakes on? Okay, I think we're good to go. Yep, parking brakes are on because I cannot move my throttle. All right, so that is it, folks. Woo, that was a long one, but you know what? That was a good one because it's got everything that I love in a Harrier video. It's got hater tanker, it's got firing rockets at stuff and making stuff go Boomflowah, and of course, it's got landing safely, relatively speaking, back on the boat. So, with that having been said, I sincerely hope that you enjoyed this long overdue video. This has been BelGeode. I have been in DCS World, open beta. And of course, this is the RAZBAM Harrier. If you enjoy what you've seen, please feel free to give me a like. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so already. And I will see you on the next one. Alrighty, folks. Ciao.